This video is sponsored by Squarespace. So, the last time I was here, I completely destroyed my DJI Avata, and it wasn't even in a cool way. It wasn't like I was trying to get this really awesome shot and then wrecked the drone. I put it in the middle of the road, which this road is usually fairly empty. I wanted to go and take off. No sooner than 10 seconds later, a bus comes around the corner and just runs my drone over. Now, it didn't do much damage. The back leg kind of came loose. The battery cable ripped out. So there were small, minor issues with the drone. I probably could have continued to fly it and almost use it as a stunt drone, but I wanted to send it off. I wanted to get it repaired, and this is in no way like a plug for DJI's support or their care refresh program, but getting care refresh on your drone and just having that peace of mind knowing that you can send it in and get it fixed for a super cheap cost and also getting it back fast really is awesome. Now, the spot that we're at is this old abandoned factory. I believe it's a paper factory down here in Manayunk. I've come here a couple of times, and over the past month, it seems like they haven't really made all that much progress. I've actually been out of the area for the past couple of weeks, just kind of doing some filming and doing some projects. So to come back and see that the building is still here is awesome, because I want to be here when they actually start tearing this thing down. And also, I just want to fly it for as much as I can because it's a really awesome spot. Now, I don't see too much activity going on over there. I saw a couple of trucks pull in and out, so I'm not sure what they're waiting for. I'm not sure whether they're waiting to take down this massive building, but when they do, I hope that I know when it is so that I can come over here, because that'll be really fun to capture. So anyway, today we're going to be taking our very first flight with my brand new DJI Avata. For me, ease of use is absolutely everything, and that's why I continue to say that I love the Avata, because it's so easy to set up. I mean, DJI's FPV goggles backpack, I don't know why they call it the goggles backpack and why it's not like an FPV backpack, but this is so great. It's so lightweight, easy to carry around. It fits everything you need and more. I've got like 10 batteries, 2 drones, a controller, 2 sets of goggles in here, a bunch of extra batteries, so it really does hold way more than you actually need. And it's great because, like, with the Avata, right, everything is wireless. You can just take everything out that you need, right? So we have the goggles here, which have been on in my bag. So you've got the goggles here, you've got the remote, everything is set up. You take the drone out, turn it on, and you're good to go, right? Like, one of my biggest complaints with FPV was always that barrier to entry. Like, hey, I need to build my drone and fix my drone, and now it's just easy. You just set it up, turn it on, and go. All right, so this is quite literally my very first flight with this specific Avata. I, of course, have flown the drone before. I've even flown in this location before, but this is this specific Avata's very first flight. So why don't we go ahead, start recording, prime the motors, go ahead and pop on up into the air. Now, we have got a beautiful day outside, and I hope that I have set up, see, I don't even have this specifically set up yet. I thought that I updated the firmware, I thought that I had everything set up, but we are going to have to go down here, change the custom mode to manual, confirm, and now we're good to go. Now, on the last flight that we did, I was, there we are, we'll move this down to like 20. The very last flight that we did here, I had an ND filter on, I had the ND32 filter on, and this go around, I want to do a little bit more exploring almost inside of the building, so I have the ND filter off. The last time with the ND32 filter on, when I tried to peek inside, the ISO was like crazy high because I was, of course, in a dark environment. Now, it looks like, honestly, everything is the same. I kind of just want to spin around and look around here. I'm going to move my gimbal pitch up a little bit. They have pretty much left everything looking exactly the same. I do remember that right here there was that door. I was trying to fly through the door, but they've taken that up, so that's a shame. We've got some activity going on back here, it looks like. I can just imagine this area is going to be like a massive condo or apartment complex. Let's go back here and see what's down the water, or down the road. I actually haven't been this far down. Look at this. This road goes all the way down here. I did not even know. This must be like a staging area where they're putting a lot of their equipment. And look, it goes all the way back. Wow. So this is my first time. Whoa, there is power lines right above me. Did you see that? I just saw those. Wow, look at this. Okay, so this goes all the way down here. That's insane. I didn't know that that's where the road led you to. So the Schuylkill would be great if it didn't have all of these breakups. Like, you'd be able to take your kayak and boat up and down, but just because it has all of these like rocky areas and waterfall areas, you really can't do much. So look at this. They must be doing some sort of dam work. That's pretty cool. I had no idea. We got to watch out for those power lines, which are right ahead. Now I see them. Cool. So while they're tearing down the building, it looks like they're actually doing some infrastructure work as well, which is nice. Let's raise our gimbal pitch a little bit so we can buzz back fast. Awesome, cool. We'll definitely have to, if we come back here, keep tabs on that area over there. Now again, this is like my first flight of the day, so we're not totally warmed up. But as I've mentioned in previous videos, I feel like I have so much more control over the Avata than I do with like the regular FPV drone that DJI sells. I don't know what it is about this drone, but I have just such a higher level of confidence. Whoop. Look at all the debris. This is crazy. Oh, look, they're like tearing up, down, and into the foundation. I think I say this every single time I fly this drone as well, but like the colors of the camera are just so good. And you know what? So while this is going to be our first flight, it kind of leads me to the topic of the video that I wanted to discuss, and that is Avata 2, right? Like this drone is now, off the top of my head, 1.5 years old. What up? It's like 1.5 years old, right? You've got to imagine that the DJI FPV drone or the Avata has to have some sort of upgrade in the works or some sort of version 2 in the works just because of how long they've been around. I wanted to go and try to fly underneath of this bridge. I haven't been over this way. Man, that is beautiful. Even though there's probably some homeless people living under there, it is beautiful. Let's start ripping. We're going to start absolutely tearing now. So yeah, like Avata 2. What the hell can they do to make this drone better? Because honestly, it's already pretty good. For me, I think camera quality is everything that needs to be improved on this drone. Oof. I'm not used to flying with a gimbal pitch this high. Let me tone that back a little bit. I'm going to end up crashing this thing. I think that camera is everything that needs to be improved on this drone. Maybe even the battery life, right? I mean, you can never go wrong with battery life. I mean, the resilience is already there, right? Like the actual build quality of the drone is already great. The transmission is great. I mean, this is running 03 and now we're up to 04. So, you know, there could always be improvements in that regard. But I feel like DJI with a lot of their drones has just gotten to that point now where there's such little to be done in terms of upgrades, right? I just think that like you kind of look at what they did with the Pocket 3 and they gave us that big 1-inch sensor and they gave us the camera upgrades. I'd love to see that be done here to the Avata. I really do hate having to have 2 cameras mounted onto a drone. Like I wouldn't want to have to go and like mount a GoPro or mount an action camera onto the drone to get better image quality. I would just want to like have it ready to go right out of the gate, which is what the Avata is right now. I mean, I think that the Avata has good camera quality. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of flailing around here. I feel like the Avata has great image quality, but you know, as for the FPV drone, you've pretty much got to put some sort of action camera on the top of there. All right, so since we've been ripping, I have completely drained this battery. So let me land this and I'll be right back with you. Now, really quickly, before we get into our second flight, here's a quick word from this video sponsor, Squarespace. Just recently, I completely overhauled my Squarespace site with a brand new template to give it a clean feel. It was difficult to choose a template because of all the great options that Squarespace offers, but I eventually found one that allowed me to share my images and information the way that I wanted. Redoing my website was seamless as the new Fluid engine made it easy to fully customize every aspect to my liking. I've been looking to find the best place to share my content online, and doing it on my own terms with Squarespace allows me to completely customize the experience. My website is like a central hub for all of my photos and videos, and I'm the one that gets to control how it looks and functions. To keep on top of how my website is performing, Squarespace's analytics go in depth so that I can see how much traffic my website is getting, what area my website is being viewed the most, and I can see which web pages and which content is performing the best. So a big thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this video and helping me display my work online for over half a decade. So yeah, I mean, I feel like that is just DJI's company story right now. They're at the top with a lot of the stuff that they have out currently. Let's see, manual mode, there we are. They're at the top with everything they have right now. Like, they've got the best consumer drones. Nobody else is making FPV drones like this unless you wanted to go and build your own. So it's like, what more can they do to make this drone better? Now I swear, I say that all the time, and then they end up coming out with something that's just crazy good. And they come out with something that nobody would think of, or nobody thought that they even wanted. Alright, so we didn't put an ND filter on here for a reason. Let's go and do a little bit of exploring, shall we? Now, that gate is open. Look at this door. I guess there was probably like some sort of, I don't know, railing or some sort of step here or whatever, but that is a door that would get you killed. Now, I'm not going to fly inside of here all the way because it's gonna this drone is too new. But let's see, we can get a much better look in here now that I don't have the ND filter on. Look at that. It is so cool to see all of the old machinery, right? Like directly in front of us. That looks like a jet turbine. You know what? You guys are gonna kill me if I don't get a little bit risky here. Okay, dipped my toe in. I dipped my toe in. The drone started to veer to the left. Did you see that? Oh man. Okay, I think that's about as crazy as we're gonna get with a brand new Avata here. Let's see. Can we peek through here? What's inside of here? Don't want to go too close. Also, the camera's not exposing from the inside. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Okay, so I promise that if I can get some access to this building, and I want to do it the right way, like I don't want to be rogue and just show up and start flying inside the building, but if I can figure out maybe the contracting company, maybe the person that owns the land, I will go and fly inside of these buildings. But for now, we're just going to be peeking inside of them. Oh, we peeked in here the last time. So here's another bridge, or here's another door that kind of seems to be leading to absolute nowhere. It almost looks like somebody pried it up from the bottom. Yeah, this would be so much fun to fly inside of. And it's open. Like, I could walk in there probably, but I'd probably get yelled at by the people that are running the job here. Man, that would be insanely fun to fly through. Okay, we're gonna have to do some research as to who owns this and what type of insurance I need to carry to to be able to go inside of these buildings. This is, again, a reason, and I mentioned this in the previous video, which if you didn't see the previous video, I'll leave it linked down below. This is one of the reasons why I love the Avatas, because you can just kind of mosey around. What is that? Look at that. You can mosey around. You can explore. I wonder what type of machine that is. It's kind of tough to tell from the actual drone, like looking through, but it'll be cool to actually see that on the full screen. That's pretty awesome. It almost looks like an old vending machine. So that guy's working down there. It seems like most of the work that's going on is probably way down yonder where we went in the beginning. Let's see, can we do some exploration over on this side? I feel like they have taken down some of the parts of the actual building. Like over here on the right side, I feel like it was just more full. Let's look straight down. Look at that. That is so cool. There are some wires in front of us, so I need to mind that. Yeah, need to mind the wires. Those wires are kind of like, I guess, reinforcing the smokestacks there. The detail is just so incredible. I need to bring the Inspire 3 out here with its 8K camera and just get some detail shots of this area, because the amount of detail you could capture is honestly stunning. I flew around a structure like this out in Pittsburgh, but it wasn't nearly as cool as this. Like, that building had been cleaned up. This is like in the middle of demolition, which makes it even cooler. Look at the dynamic range on this too, right? I mean, when I'm looking right at the sun, it's kind of tough, but if I look a little bit to the right, you can still see a ton of detail in the shadows, and the highlights aren't that bad. Danger. High voltage. Man, that is so cool. Okay, we've got 68%. What do you guys say we just absolutely rip the rest of this battery? Oops, there we go. Flip it into manual. Come on. There we are. I do have a line that I want to try hitting here. There we are. You know, you're flying around in normal, and it's like such a pedestrian little drone. But then once you flip it into manual, it's like a bat out of hell. I do hear a truck. Yeah, looks like a water truck almost. All right. Yo, what just happened? Did you guys see that? I didn't want it to flip. I didn't tell it to flip. All right. Let's keep moseying along here. I'm glad it caught itself. That was cool though. It like instantly caught itself. My reaction is always to flip it into normal mode too. I'm never in the mindset of braking. All right. I hear some footsteps to my right. So, for those of you unaware of where we're at, we'll fly very high up. We're in Manayunk. And you can see Philly just in the distance over there. Alright, so the line that I want to try to hit is way on the opposite side, flying back towards us. This is so cool. Places like this are just so much fun to fly. Alright, so I want to wrap around the building over here. There's almost like a trench that they seem to dig up that probably gives access to like the basement area. And I want to try to fly just above that. So hopefully I can line it up properly. This will be our grand finale here. So let's spin around. We're not going terribly fast, only about 30 miles an hour. Let's see, where is it? I gotta try to find it on the fly here. I think it's right here. Am I right? I might be wrong. Should have done a better scout. Oh, it's right there to my left, I think. Or it's right here, maybe. Whoop. Oh, it's right there to the left. There's just so much that looks alike out here. You know what it reminds me of? Like WALL-E, the Disney movie WALL-E, what Earth looks like. Huh. Let's see. All right, let's try to hit the line from the opposite way. Maybe that'll be a little bit easier. All right, so we'll loop around. All right, now let's try to go this way. Maybe this will be better. I'd love to drive inside of there too, but I do not want to get any nails in my tire. So if I do get permission, I'd be parking out here and walking inside. Oh, there. Is this it right here? Yeah. See, right here? Yup, okay. There it is. I'm afraid there's going to be like a piece of rebar sticking up, and I just nail the rebar. All right, here we go. Here we go. For the grand finale. I kind of thought I'd be able to get a little bit further inside of the, I thought I'd be able to get a little bit further inside the trench, but hey, we've got plenty of time to fly this building. It'll be really cool to continue to document this construction. I hope you guys don't mind that I continue to post videos coming out here, just because I feel like with the changing landscape, it's always something different to fly. And also, I hear a train. It's always something different to fly, but it's still familiar, if that makes sense. Where's that train at? Oh, I'm starting to get a little throttle here. I don't know where it's at. Oh, there it is. There's the train. Cool stuff. All right. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, these videos are just a ton of fun to make. I know that there's not a lot of substance, but I feel like there's not enough people out there, you know, whenever they have a photography, videography, drone channel, that actually show them doing what you're supposed to do, like fly the drone, go take photos, go take videos. So, these are some of my favorite videos to actually shoot, because I feel like I'm actually creating for myself and not just doing some sort of tutorial video. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.